So, you're thinking about selling on Amazon? You've probably heard it's more competitive now than ever. But what if I told you the real secret to success wasn't about having a bigger ad budget, but about having a smarter strategy from day one? Let's break down a data-driven blueprint for finding a profitable niche that can actually work even in today's crowded market.
Okay, first things first, let's get real. The game has totally changed. Amazon isn't the Wild West anymore. It's a mature, jam-packed marketplace. You know that old playbook of just finding a cheap product and blasting it with ads? Yeah, that's just not gonna cut it anymore.
So what's making it so tough out there? Well, it really boils down to two key pressures that are squeezing sellers. First, ad costs are constantly climbing, just eating away at your profit. And second, you've got a flood of new sellers who are okay with tiny margins, which makes competing on price pretty much impossible.
This slide lays out the shift perfectly. The old way was all about high volume and just throwing money at ads. The new, and frankly, much smarter approach is all about precision. It's what we call a niche-first strategy, and it's all about serving a specific community with a product they're already actively looking for. And that, right there, brings us to the core of this whole strategy. Your greatest leverage, your biggest power move, isn't your ad budget. It's your choice of niche. Finding the right high-margin niche is how you build a truly profitable business and avoid that painful race to the bottom on price.
So what exactly is a high-margin niche in today's world? Look, it's not just about a high price tag. It's a category where customers see so much value in the product that they aren't just hunting for the cheapest option. And here's the crucial part. There's already strong demand from an existing community. That means you get organic sales from people who are already searching, instead of having to rely only on paid ads.
And to put a real number on it, the goal here is a net margin of 30% or more. Now that's your profit after Amazon takes all of its fees. Hitting that number means you can build a sustainable, profitable business without needing insane sales volume.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but do these kinds of niches actually exist? You bet they do. Let's take a look at some real-world examples that have that high-margin potential, manageable competition, and plenty of room to grow. I mean, just look at these numbers. Pet wellness tech can hit 40% margins. Senior care and biohacking, we're talking things like specialized supplements and health monitors, can reach up to 45%. These aren't just random categories, they serve passionate communities with very specific needs, from serious DIY hobbyists to people building that perfect work-from-home setup.
So inspiration is great, but how do you actually validate an idea? This is where the strategy gets really practical and powerful. Here is a simple 3-step blueprint you can use to test any niche you're thinking about before you invest a single dollar.
The whole process really boils down to these three things. First, you check the sell-through rate to make sure people are actually buying. Second, you audit the price history to make sure the margins are stable. And third, you measure the competition to find a space where you can actually make a splash. Let's look at the key number for each of these steps.
For step 1, your key metric, the magic number, is a sell-through rate above 55%. What that means is that in any 30-day window, more than half of the listings in that niche are actually selling. It's just a crystal clear signal of strong, consistent demand.
Next up is price stability. You want to see that prices are holding pretty steady, even during huge sales events like Prime Day. If you see prices dropping more than 15%, that's a huge red flag. It tells you you're looking at a commodity market where profits just get destroyed by constant price wars.
And finally, you gotta check the competition. The goal here is to find niches with fewer than 30 identical competing offers. That's really the sweet spot. It tells you there's enough room for a new seller like you to jump in and grab some market share without just getting lost in the noise.
So here's the golden rule, putting it all together. It's not about just one of these metrics, it's the combination. You want high demand, that's a sell-through rate over 55%, paired with low competition, fewer than 30 competing offers. When you find both of those things together, that's your green light. That's go time. Now you're probably thinking, okay, but how on earth am I supposed to find all this data? I mean, doing this manually would take forever. And this is where software tools become absolutely essential. For example, a platform like Easync.io is literally built to automate this exact validation process.
And you can see how this maps directly back to our 3-step framework. You can use a Finder tool to filter specifically for that 55% sell-through rate. You can run a 90-day price history check to confirm that price stability. And you can use a filter to find products that meet that under 30 competitors rule. It basically turns a massive research project into a much simpler filtering task.
So let's bring it all home.
The Amazon landscape has definitely changed, for sure. But the opportunity hasn't disappeared, it's just gotten more specific. Your real power as a seller isn't hiding in your ad budget, it's in the very first choice you make, the niche you decide to enter.
And the key takeaway is really this simple. Success on Amazon today rewards precision over volume. It's not about trying to sell hundreds of generic items anymore. It's about carefully selecting a few great products in well-defined niches and serving that specific audience better than anyone else.
This whole data-driven method gives you a clear framework for finding real opportunities. It helps you move away from just guessing and hoping and toward validating and executing with real confidence. So the only question left is, which niche will you choose?